Yes, I have wings on. And I have wings on for no particular reason other than when I was a little kid on TV, there was a show on Nickelodeon, I believe, called Mr. Dress Up. And there was this guy, and he had this big chest, and he had all these costumes. And as you know from a few weeks ago, I did an entire week where I did a different costume every week, and I had fun. So I thought putting some wings on today could be really fun because I wanted to come talk to you about the course Embracing Your Inner Witch, which begins in September. And I wanted to see if you were thinking about it, if it caught your attention, if you were even just a little bit curious about some of the things that we would be talking about in the Embracing Your Inner Witch program. And I'm just coming home actually from Scuppernong Books. Shout out to my hometown local bookstore because the course starts in September. And so often I design a course and I have an outline, and then once I launch that outline, then the real work begins of filling in the remainder where there's a gap in my own knowledge to teach to all of you. And this course is pretty well mapped out on what I want to teach you, but I really want to fill in some of my own gaps in knowledge. So we're going to be going over a little bit of the history of witches in this course. And witches, from what I understand, were actually the very first doctors. They were true healers. So this idea that being a witch is tapping into something magical outside of ourselves is, yeah, there's maybe some truth to some magic, but that's, as you'll see, that's not exactly how I consider, or what I consider, being a witch. And so we will be talking about the history, a little bit briefly, touching on the history of who witches were, where witches came from. And at the time, I do know that doctors at that time, way, way, way back when witches were the true healers, the one who were actually helping, doctors were the bunk. How'd that get flipped around? Kind of the way Democrat and Republican got flipped around back in the day. And I also have heard really good things about this book, so The Holy Wild. So I'm checking this out. Just thought I'd share that with all of you. My reading list is pretty big. And then a friend, an acquaintance, told me about a book, Inner Work, and this is about interpreting dreams. And I'm just sharing this because it's on my to-read list, and I thought you might be interesting. I mean, it's there's always a book on my to-read list. There are way more books in my home than I'll actually ever be able to read and get through. But I also wanted to talk about some of the tools that we'll be talking about. One of the really fun things about Embracing Your Inner Witch is there's going to be an entire evening on just how to pick an oracle deck for yourself, how to begin learning how to use that oracle deck, and how to use that oracle deck to really mine your own unconscious. So I sent a text out to my family this weekend, and I talked about some cards that I had pulled for myself from this deck. This is the Wild Unknown Archetype deck. Phenomenal. If you're at all interested in psychology, Jungian psychology, and the archetypes, this deck is phenomenal. And I was telling my family that I pulled the Apocalypse card for my heart center, and for my root, I actually pulled the Death card. How uncomfortable was that? So I had a lot of journaling to do, and my uncle was actually happened to be on this string of text messages, and he goes, "Come on, do you actually believe in those cards?" And I was like, well, this is what I believe in those cards. I believe that they're Rorschach tests, and I believe that they help us uncover things about ourselves and about others that we would not have known or would not have had access to had we not looked at them and examined them against the backdrop of our own lives. That's my take on it. I don't think they tell the future. I don't think that that's what they're meant to do. I think they're meant to be inspiration. I believe that they're meant to be a doorway into ourselves and to others. And I believe that they can be powerful tools for cultivating intuition, self-knowledge, personal growth. That's what I believe them to be. And so, yeah, we're going to be talking about all of that. I'm also going to empower you after you pick a deck that's right for you, after you begin working with that deck. One of the homework assignments, spoiler alert, homework assignment is that you're going to have to do a reading for someone. Ooh, what do we think about that? So yes, I do believe that all of us have an inner power, an inner knowing, and the ability to work with others in that capacity because of what I said. These are tools into ourselves. They are tools, these decks, these oracle cards, these tarot cards. They are absolutely a way to get to know ourselves better. They are a doorway for you to help others get to know themselves better, which how exciting is that? And, you know, I like to bring in the elements. We're going to be talking about the elements: air, fire, water, earth. We'll be talking about how to let those show up for yourselves. I build an altar for myself in my home. It's a place where I stop. It's a place where I take a beat, where I pay attention to what's happening in my own life. It's a place where I give gratitude, lots and lots of gratitude. I have a very specific type of gratitude practice that I use, and I would love to share that. So I'll be sharing that gratitude practice. Those of you who have worked with me in the past have heard me talk about it. It's based in positive psychology, and that is certainly a piece of embracing your inner witch. But crystals, stones, rocks, those are really powerful teachers as well, powerful tools that we can be using. And I'm going to talk a little bit about crystals and how to use them, but spoiler alert, it has to do with your own intuition. Yeah. As is much of this work, but it's learning how to get in touch with your own intuition. It's learning how to listen when it's talking to you, how to answer the call, how to begin taking those baby steps, even when it's scary, into answering the call of our own intuition. This course will be way more lecture style than if you've worked with me in the past, then you're probably going to be used to seeing me do, which is going to make it a lot easier from the perspective of if you can't make it to a class live, you're not going to miss out on that much because it's not as highly focused on the togetherness of the group as some of my other classes are, but you will be absolutely having lots of really fun homework assignments, picking an oracle deck for yourself. Another homework assignment will include building your own altar and finding things that have meaning to you and deciding how you want to use that in your own space. There will be homework assignments of working with the elements and giving readings to others with those oracle decks. So, really fun things that are happening in the Yoke and Abundance world right now. If you have not signed up yet for Embracing Your Inner Witch, I want to encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. Yes, the course does not start until September. However, there are some really fun things that are included in this course, like you get a one-on-one card reading, your head spread reading with me. And the sooner you sign up for that, the sooner you can go ahead and get that booked. Also, there might be some surprises that happen for folks that are in this early round of signups. And, you know, while I don't yet have a cap on the number of people who are able to sign up for it, it will not be unlimited. So just know that there's going to be a limited number of spaces capped up on this, and we have had a great response so far. Okay, so Embracing Your Inner Witch, that course, that 8-week course begins in September, and signing up for that course does give you access to the gathering, the Yoke in Abundance gathering. It's our community here at Yoke in Abundance where I teach 2 yoga classes a week. I teach a meditation class each Monday. All of these things are recorded and housed in a library so that you can go back and access them while you're a member of the gathering. I do a monthly writing workshop. That workshop is also housed in a library for you to access. We have new moon and full moon gatherings where you can meet with other women, set your intentions, and honor the cycles and the seasons of your body, of the moon, and of the seasons of our world. And that's really sweet and really fantastic. So the sooner you sign up, the sooner you will have access to the gathering and to being a part of that phenomenal community that is coming together. I'm going to be encouraging those who are signed up for this course to embrace playfulness, to do silly things like put on wings and prance around or dance in your kitchen, and really embrace like your own special sauce and play. One of the things in this iteration of the world that we happen to be in right now is that we adults don't play very much. We don't let our hair down and have fun. And so in this course, you are going to be asked to play. Play. Be silly. Get goofy. Do fun things. It will be not only encouraged, but to a certain extent expected. And if you think that is going to be a difficult piece for you, then you definitely are going to need this course. Creativity is a huge piece of what we're doing. If you don't think you're creative, again, another reason to sign up for this course. You know, I do a longer course on creativity each year, and that is the Cultivating Creativity course based around the Artist's Way. That is a 16-week course that begins each summer, but this is a way to access that without having to wait until next summer to sign up for that particular course. But if an 8-week course just isn't your thing, we do have a 4-hour retreat coming up in August. And this retreat is going to be about figuring out how you want to spend the next few months of this year working towards your goal. It's going to be realigning with your core values, deciding really what you want to bring about from September, October, November through December for this last piece of this year. I know that whatever goals you probably set for yourself back in January went poof, kapooey, right? And now it's time to reassess. What do you want to get out of it? What do you want to get out of the remainder of this year? Do you want to have fun? Do you want playfulness? Do you want joy? Do you have work goals that you want to tackle and get? That is the upcoming retreat. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be assessing where we are. We're going to be thinking about what goals we want to set. We're going to be reconnecting to what our core values are, and then creating a plan to get there and creating a vision board around that, because man, that creativity piece, that visualizing it, that putting it on paper is what's going to help bring it to fruition. So there we have it. That's what's going on in the Yoke in Abundance world. One of my clients who happens to be in the morning group, the Reawakening Wisdom Daily, she says that she loves coming to all of the different things that I offer. It's like going to Alicia Land. So I want to welcome you to Alicia Land. And you can join Alicia Land in a number of different ways, but most importantly, the 2 that I'm talking about today, join me in Alicia Land by taking the 8-week course, Embrace Your Inner Witch. The sooner you sign up for that, the better. The sooner you get access to our community, the gathering. Or join us at the end of August for my 4-hour retreat that is just like that reset button. So I hope you'll join us. I hope you will come play with me. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.